Shalom and welcome to Secrets Revealed, the Holy Bible. Today we're looking at Genesis chapter 50, the last portion of the book of Genesis. There are 26 verses. Verse 2, we see here the embalmers versus his servants, the physicians. Or I should just say the embalmers versus the physicians. So that's the difference there. They are embalmers who embalm versus physicians who embalm. Verse 11, we see here the mourning of Mizraim versus Abel Mizraim, which could very well just be a translation. Verse 15 says, lest at any time Joseph remember evil against us. So this is the brothers of Joseph saying, lest at any time Joseph remember evil against us and repay to us, recompense to us all the evils which we have done against him. Versus they said, Joseph will peradventure hate us. Maybe he'll hate us. That's not what it says. It says that he might remember evil against us. He might remember calamity against us. He might remember the evil that we did against us. That's how I take it anyway, but it is not that he would hate them, but he would remember what they did and would remember evil against us and repay to them the evil which they have done to him. And it says that in both versions. Verse 16 says, they came to Joseph and said the following words. Versus, they sent a messenger to Joseph, so they weren't brave enough to talk to him face to face. No, they actually went to him and spoke to him. They were brave enough to face him. Verse 17 says, forgive their injustice. That's what they're saying their father said. Forgive them their injustice and their sin. Versus, forgive, I pray you now, the trespass of your brethren. So one is a injustice and one is a trespass. Verse 18 says, in the Masoretic, they fell down before his face. That was added. They did not fall down before his face in this particular instance, although they did do that, I believe, on 3 separate occasions. But on this occasion, they did not. According to the Septuagint, they did not. Verse 19, there's a major difference here. I find that Joseph responds to them, fear not, for I am Elohim's. I belong to Elohim. So fear not, I am of Elohim. I am his property. I am his servant. I am of Elohim. I will not do evil to you, as you have described. In the Masoretic, it says, fear not, for am I in the place of Elohim? Am I in God's position? That's not what he's saying. He's saying, no, I belong to Elohim. I represent him. I will not do this to you. I'll be merciful like he is. I'm just putting those words in, but essentially he didn't say that I am in the place of Elohim. Why would he say that? That's sacrilegious. It's blasphemy to say that. He's saying, no, I am Elohim's. You could say Elohim's servant. Because it says here, this is a response to what they said to him. We are your servants. He said, I am Elohim's servant. Essentially, that's how you could read that. But in the Masoretic, you can't read it that way. Behold, we are your servants. Then Joseph said, well, am I in the place of Elohim? No, it doesn't make sense. Okay, next we see here. So I think that's a major difference. Verse 20, you took counsel against me for evil. This is a memory verse. A lot of people memorize this. You took counsel against me for evil, but God took counsel for me for good, that might be as today, and much people might be fed. So they counseled evil against him. God counseled or purposed good for him, so that it might be as it is today. Many people would be fed. And people wouldn't starve to death. Look at the Masoretic. It says, But as for you, you thought evil against me. So that's not too different, but the rest of it is Elohim meant it unto good. So you can see it's a little different there, the way it's worded. To bring to pass, as this day, to save much people alive. So as you can see, it's worded differently. Elohim counseled good for him. They planned evil, God planned good. That can be another way to understand that verse. And it says, so it could be like it is today, presently, that people might be fed. And essentially, when you feed people, they're alive. So not too different for that last wording there. But I feel that so you could just read it for yourself, counsel for evil, counseled against for evil, God counseled for me for good. So man plans, God plans too. Maybe it's just the way it is written differently. The last verse we're looking at is verse 25, and it says here in verse 25, Joseph adjured the sons of Israel, making them promise essentially to adjured. If I would look that up, give me a moment. So the word adjure is to command solemnly, as if under oath or penalty of a curse. So you're really charging them, you're binding them, which is very similar to an oath. So I'm not going to say it's a big difference, but it is worded differently. It does say here that Joseph took an oath of the children of Israel, or the sons of Israel. So that's all I have to say about this chapter. Chapter 50 of Genesis. It's been a very enjoyable journey. Thank you for letting me present this to you. Today's Shabbat, so Shabbat Shalom. Ironically, Shabbat is ironically a busy day with a lot of services, meetings, and fellowship that, you know, in my mind, I'm thinking I have all the time in the world to just do all the studies I want. But no, there's actually the one day in the week where it's actually hardest to find the time to do that because it's just full of worship and just study, but other people's studies, listening to people present their studies and fellowship. And yeah, family dinner, things like that. So thank you once again for your time. May Jehovah bless you and keep you safe always. May he make your way prosperous. May give you a heart to love him with all your mind, strength, and soul. That you would also love your neighbor as Yehoshua, Jesus Christ, loved us. And that you would do what's right in his sight. To have a love for him. Not just, you know, not to impress other people, but to really have a real relationship with him, a close relationship with him as a father, as you do, you know, a father to a child. And I just pray shalom on you on this day as a Shabbat. Thank you again for your time. This is Jack Knight signing off for Secrets Revealed, the Holy Bible. Shalom.